Well, look what CNN did to that grandma. Could you imagine if you or I went to an elderly Hillary Clinton's house and said, did you know that you were involved in Russian activity?
People would crucify us.
It would be over. They would say, look at these monsters. But meanwhile, CNN, and here's why I don't like these people, they're gutless. Why don't you go to Clapper's house? Why don't you go to Deep State's house and address them and confront them? Why don't you go to Michael Moore, CNN, if you're so tough? Michael Moore attended an anti-Trump protest in New York. They just want to bully grandma.
That was funded by Russia.
Yeah, they just want to bully Nana. That's all they want to do. They have no integrity. That's why they want to go after you. But what they did is bullying. They should be banned. If the rules were applied equally, they would. Their channel.
Yeah, this is real bullying. This is real bullying. They say that those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. I am a novice historian. I've read 800 books on history. I probably listened to another 100 or 200 or more, actually. I think about on the treadmill, or I need to start doing that again. That's what I used to do, is get on the treadmill or whatever and listen to historical, screeds while I was exercising. I'll admit the last 7, 8, 9 years I've been so busy, I don't read history anymore, but I have that body of knowledge. And there's no doubt that we've got an authoritarian system, and now that they're getting it in place, they're hyping up the left as the chosen instrument worldwide to bully and attack and kill everybody else. Mike Cernovich is back. I guess he thought that was a longer break, because I know the end of the hour is only 2 minutes. It's not 4 like the others, but Mike is back. And I just wanted to, he's got the idea, and I agree, we need to get on the street. And that just means you with a sandwich board out there, or a bumper sticker, or whatever it is, but we need to have some big demonstrations, kind of like flash mobs. I don't want to use that term, flash liberty, peacefully, and just say, everybody be waiting. Maybe have an email list or something like that. That's what we'll do. Go sign up at Infowars.com, Infowars.com/newsletter. And we should create a new email for people that want that. See, we had an app that had some issues. We're launching a new one that's even better, that's going to have live alerts. That's really the answer. Everybody needs to get the apps. And Mike, we need to meet. I know you've been wanting to meet and talk, and then we've both been busy. But let's just talk about the war gaming so people kind of get the idea of what's coming. Because we have to really, really protest Facebook, Twitter, Google. We've got to let them know. And we've got to piss in their Cheerios coming up at South by Southwest. Yeah,
this is our last stand. If we don't succeed, it's just over. That's what I tell people. If you like me, thanks. Been good to know you. It's over. It's done. Free speech is over in America. If you're a Christian and you think you can just go to church and they're going to leave you alone, you're wrong. They're coming for you. They're coming for you harder than me, because the Christians are the biggest obstacle they have to the death camps. The Christians are the ones who hid Jews during the Holocaust. Christians will not allow this death march to go forward. So it's over. If we don't take legally and lawfully, if we don't have conversations, because notice you and I don't ever try to censor people. We don't try to say, why won't you?
I can't even do it. I can't even file a complaint on CNN and play their own game for bullying. I just can't do it. It's like, it's too cowardly.
Well, look what CNN did to that grandma. Could you imagine if you or I went to an elderly Hillary Clinton's house and said, did you know that you were involved in Russian activity?
People would crucify us.
It would be over. They would say, look at these monsters. But meanwhile, CNN, and here's why I don't like these people, they're gutless. Why don't you go to Clapper's house? Why don't you go to Deep State's house and address them and confront them? Why don't you go to Michael Moore, CNN, if you're so tough? Michael Moore attended an anti-Trump protest in New York. They just want to bully grandma.
That was funded by Russia.
Yeah, they just want to bully Nana. That's all they want to do. They have no integrity. That's why they want to go after you. But what they did is bullying. They should be banned. If the rules were applied equally, they would. Their channel.
Yeah, this is real bullying. This is real bullying.
Yeah, we don't do that. Go up to Nana. Hey, Nana, did you know you voted for Hillary Clinton? Hey, Nana, did you know that you spread a meme from Russia? Terrific. I don't know how even Glenn Greenwald and liberal people were like, I'm appalled. This is nauseating what they're doing. Oh, tough guy. Big tough Drew. You're so tough. Why don't you come confront me? Why don't you confront Alex? Why don't you confront Clapper? Why don't you confront somebody other than somebody's grandma? They won't do it. So that is why South by Southwest, I will be in Austin, Texas, Alex. We have to meet.
Well, let's do a few more minutes. Let's do a few more minutes, and we got our next guest. I want to talk about that. And people, this is it. It's right. That's why they're so scared of demonstrations, because they know that's where they can't shut us down, and they don't want this to start a chain reaction to show their censorship. That's why they've backed off on us for now, because they realize we got the momentum. We have the initiative. Now is the time to strike. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live, broadcasting worldwide. A few more minutes with Mike Cernovich of Guerrilla Mindset and Guerrilla Media. He's on fire today, and he's so right. We get conditioned with the censorship and now the attack on journalism and this concerted Twitter, Facebook, YouTube ban that is, I don't know, I want to say it's about 50 times bigger than anything else we've ever seen. They've been trying bans and trying spin and trying all this. This is exponentially bigger than anything I've ever seen. I want to see if Mike agrees with that. And they are banning Christians. They are banning libertarians. They're persecuting them everywhere. Facebook's kicking thousands of pro-gun and Christian channels off. PragerU is in a giant lawsuit. It's very milquetoast, very professional. And then they block it all, and Snopes comes in and says, you know, we question this. This is such discrimination. I mean, imagine if people were putting, you know, like on a gay YouTube website, you know, about, say, you know, gay lifestyles or something, if there were like conservative Christian markers saying, we dispute this, we're the fact checkers, you're all going to hell. The left has their religion, and it's controlling everybody's life, and now they're doing it. They're saying, hashtag hunt Republicans, you know, billboards, kill the NRA, kill people, burn Dana Loesch, kill her, she's a murderer, witch, she's a witch. How do we know she's a witch? Well, if she, you know, she sinks and drowns, she's not a witch, but if she floats, she is a witch. I mean, it's so medieval to see people degenerate back into like varlets. Well, there's like, oh, kill them all. Yeah, we want communism. It's so good. Oh, my smartphone and my everything. Yeah. And like, well, go to Venezuela where they're eating out of trash cans for 5 years. And like they have thousands a week dying of starvation. Shut up. You don't know. It's a wonderful thing. We're going to do it. Witch. In fact, let's play a second of this and go back to Mike Cernovich about how we need to take action. Here it is. Let's play a clip of Witch. Do we have it ready? Okay, well, cue it up later and we'll get it. I want to hook all those computers up to sound if we can do that. It'd be great. Anyways, Witch. Seriously, they've gone crazy. I know there's elites behind them and money, but it's like an 89-year-old crazy Nazi collaborator where they think they can go on CNN, ABC News. They've obviously put a PR funding out. He funds Sink Uger, who's got the name of a Christian genocide organization. Just what you're pointing out, the Young Turks killed 1.5 million Christians. That's the biggest genocide outside Russia and Poland and we've ever seen in Ukraine. So it's the 4th biggest Christian genocide in modern history. 4th biggest, I guess, in history. You know, 1.5 million, that's not chopped liver. Dead people, children, you name it, you know, pregnant women run through. And then he's saying, I don't know if you saw the clip, that I'm the worst person in the world, that George Soros is a Holocaust survivor. Again, Mike, the magnitude of them defending this, they think they'll get away with it. What type of slimy creature is this?
Well, they know that if they get rid of us, they can engage in a genocide here in America. The Young Turks are biting at the bit to destroy Christians here. So that's the whole game. And by the way, they're going after Jews too. There's a lot of drama on Twitter right now from people who have called us falsely anti-Semitic. Just for the record, I disavow any bigotry, hatred.
They all know that though.
Right. They all know, and they're all liars. And they are coming for the Jewish people, and they're finally realizing that now. I see on Twitter people from Tablet.
I am seeing a lot of even liberal Jews are waking up going, you're right, I see it. I apologize. I'm getting a lot of that.
Yeah, so they're actually freaking out a little bit because they realize people like me and you, I don't sit around all day thinking about Jewish issues. I don't really, it's not.
I don't even ever ask myself what somebody is, if they're interesting and cool. I don't even like, I'm sick. I'm not obsessed with race or religion.
Well, that's what's funny. They'll call me an anti-Semite for making fun of somebody. And I go, what are you I didn't even know the guy was Jewish. I just knew the guy was an idiot, you know, not talking about this at all. But
well, I make fun of Sink for how he looks. I'm not bashing Turks in general. And it's the same thing with Stelter. He said, I said Stelter's a Jew. I already said this, and I didn't. And then he just lies and says I attacked him because he's Jewish. And then he says, but he's not Jewish. He just makes up all these things I'm wrong about that aren't demonstrably false. Show the video, Sink. He doesn't.
But what they're doing, so the funny thing is they want to get people like us out of the way because they know that we would stand with any oppressed Jewish minority. And they know if they get us out of the way, then they can go and the Jews are going to be in the concentration camps with the Christians too, if the left has their way. Just go read what Louis Farrakhan has to say. They're in public.
Well, I mean, expanding off of that, mainline leftists teach that Jews are bad, and then George Soros says that Israel needs to be given over to the Muslims. So that's a fact. And then the Jewish movements in America are led by George Soros, a Nazi collaborator. What fruitcake planet did we wake up on?
Well, that was the problem. Is a lot of people were brainwashed into thinking that we're throwing dog whistles or whatever, which we're not. But meanwhile, Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam overtly say that Jews are satanic. This is what they say, not me. Not me, not you. We would never say that because we don't believe it. So that's what's going on. But that's why maybe we need to set up a separate website or something. But those of you, especially if you're in Austin, Texas, I'm going to be in town. I don't want to travel, but I realize I'm so burned out by traveling, Alex. But I realize this is life or death. And this is our last stand. If they destroy us here, we're dead.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick the date that we're going to, or a few days when we're going to do it, so people can get here, they can be in place, they can be ready, and then we'll announce live on air, hey, 2 hours this. So when is South by Southwest? I try to avoid it. When is that?
It's like March 9th through the 14th, I think, something like that.
Okay, so, yeah, oh my God. It's like a plague descends on us, all these zombies trying to get a job that doesn't exist. It's a giant pump and dump to rip people off, in my view. It's incredible. Yeah, we'll set something up. And let's start talking today, and then let's start announcing something by Monday, okay?
Yeah, we need a dedicated event. We need a squad leader, team leader, activism. If we don't do activism now, we're all done. We're all dead. And I don't mean figuratively. They won't even, we're at the point now where if I just said, you know what, I just want to retire and leave me alone, then they would say, oh, now you look weak. Now we're really. I
was about to say, I want to turn the tide completely because I'll still have Infowars, but I don't want to just be pedal to the metal constantly. It has a physical effect. It has a mental effect. And, your children grow up, and I agree. I mean, I am just so sick of this, but they're not going to stop. They're forcing us to get even stronger. All right, God bless you, Mike Cernovich. Let's talk. Let's get you set up for Monday or something on the show to come on, and let's talk about this. But let's war game this over the weekend, okay?
Perfect.
All right, thanks, buddy. You can just honcho that. You always have great plans. So you just tell me what you think we ought to do, and we'll just do it. Great to have generals out there like Mike Cernovich. Just briefly, we're going to come back with this next guest on the Second Amendment, who's in Florida and has found out about some potential triggers for another mass shooting that may not be averted by a sheriff. He's working on the case right now. He is from the Central Florida Post. You saw him on CNN when they were trying to demonize him for trying to talk. We'll play that clip as well when we come back. I also wanted to open the phones up today, but they've loaded me up with so many great guests with so much breaking intel. But we're going to be taking more calls on the show. I love your calls. It's great during the 34-hour broadcast. We've had a lot of chance to take those. I came in last night and did it about 2 hours. It took about 20 phone calls. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. If this is serious, okay, and everybody sees it. It's just for what you see, there's 80% more going on behind the scenes you don't know. And I'm quite frankly very honored that they pulled out all the stops. And I know that they may go ahead and pull the trigger and, deep six me. But you know what? My forebears did that. And everybody else, as a man, it's like I'm instinctive. It feels like where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I don't have any fear of dying or being put in prison or being killed or being attacked or anything. I just have fear that I haven't completed the mission and that you're not realizing how important you are and not active enough and not aggressive enough. And I'm not bitching at you. I'm just saying, do whatever you got to do. Go to city council, call in to talk radio, write a book. Just all of us together, we're going to defeat this, especially the young people, but also powerful individuals, whether you're a pastor or a professor or a teacher or a shop, teacher. Everybody's powerful. And people that have money are really powerful because you can buy products that you need and use and help support the truth. You can donate. Infowars.com/show has a donate button. I want to thank those that have donated. We have free shipping store-wide. A lot of great products. Our top supplements are all 30 to 50% off. Some are 80% off as beyond loss leaders. So I want you to see how great they are. Infowarsstore.com, Infowarslife.com, or 888-253-3139. Stay with us.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
You're a white male! You're a white man! If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
You know, I've been hearing more and more about a thing called fake news, and they're talking about people that go and say all sorts of things. But I will tell you, some of the media outlets that I deal with are fake news, more so than anybody. I could name them, but I won't bother. But you have few sitting right in front of us. So they're very, very dishonest people. But I think it's just something we're going to have to live with. I guess the advantage I have is that I can speak back. When it happens to somebody that doesn't have that kind of a megaphone, they can't speak back. It's a very sad thing. I've seen people destroyed. I've seen people absolutely destroyed. And I think it's very unfair. So all I can ask for is honest reporters. Information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage, writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question?
Go ahead.
No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization.
Your organization.
Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's
categorically,
asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm
us
not
a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir.
Round 2. Fight.
Go ahead.
Just one more follow-up.
Should I let him have a little bit more? What do you think, Peter? Peter, should I let him have a little bit more? Sit down. Sit down.
Just
We'll
because
get
of the
we'll get it.
just because of the attack of fake news and attacking our network, I just want to ask you, sir.
I'm changing it from fake news, though.
Doesn't that undermine?
Very fake news.
I know, but aren't you?
Okay.
Flawless victory.
I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake. A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people. Because they have no sources. They just make them up when there are none. You know, the dishonest media, they'll say, he didn't get a standing ovation. You know why? No, you know why? Because everybody stood and nobody sat. So they will say he never got a standing ovation, right? That's the way they are. They are the worst. Donald Trump did not get a standing ovation. They leave out the part, they never sat down. They leave that out. They're very dishonest people. In fact, in covering my comments, the dishonest media did not explain that I called the fake news the enemy of the people, the fake news. They dropped off the word fake. And all of a sudden, the story became the media is the enemy. They take the word fake out. And now I'm saying, oh no, this is no good. But that's the way they are. So I'm not against the media. I'm not against the press. I don't mind bad stories if I deserve them. And I tell you, I love good stories, but we won't go. I don't get too many of them. But I am only against the fake news, media, or press. Fake. Fake. They have to leave that word.
I'm so excited. The new product at InfoWarsLife.com in a glass bottle, 2-month servings, filled to the brim, filled to the absolute top, the real red pill. This is a heart and brain pill, a nootropic, but doesn't have any stimulants in it. But boy, does it stimulate, because it's beyond that. Quite frankly, I just went off what I saw medical doctors prescribing to their patients, but it wasn't prescription, but they were charging people $100, $200 for the formulae. And I came up with our own formula, working with some scientists and developers, non-GMO, made right here in America, 120 capsules. And ladies and gentlemen, you add the pregnenolone to it, which is the precursor to all the hormones that your body has to have to even make the hormones in your glands. It is amazing. Red pill, now available at InfoWarsStore.com, and your purchase funds the operation.